What could you do to protect your pets if you're sick or injured? My product, Save My Pet ID tag, helps you ensure that your beloved pets are safe and well cared for, even when life isn't what you expect.
Our special guest today is able to think like a dog, and he's definitely got catitude. His cartoons are possum. Please give pause and applause to the very talented Scott Metzger. Welcome to our show, Scott.
Well, thank you so much for that nice introduction. Yes, I'm happy to be here.
I mean, all of us agree that life with our cats, dogs, and other critters are anything but boring. And folks, for nearly 30 years, Scott has been depicting our interactions with our pets in a comical and very candid way. And I have to fess up, I'm not trying to be a fan, but I got to say, there are times that I open my phone and out pops a Scott Metzger cartoon, and it just makes me smile for the rest of the day. You've got feline funnies, canine comedy, you got it all. And I know people are very curious too. How did you even become a cartoonist? Because you went to UC Davis, right? University of California. That's a brilliant school. And were you trying to be a brain surgeon, MIT geek? What were you hoping to do? And what happened when you got that diploma in your hand?
Not trying to be a brain surgeon, not trying to be a veterinarian, which is another thing they're known for.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I went to UC Davis. I started off as an art major actually there.
Okay.
And then I took a bunch of art classes, and so I ended up transitioning to doing communications. And
is that what your major's in?
Yes, and I basically essentially have an art minor. I'm a few units short of that, but yeah, the art classes weren't really doing it for me. I learned a lot.
You're no Picasso. No Renoir. You weren't.
Yeah.
Were you a doodler? Are you a doodler? When you were taking notes in class, are you making little drawings?
Yeah, I was always drawing, and I was never usually when I was growing up in school, I was paying attention. I would sometimes doodle a little bit, but yeah, I was always drawing as a kid, and I always loved that. But I actually didn't start drawing, really focusing on cartooning until after I graduated from college.
Wow.
Yeah, I was definitely drawing cartoons and doing things and doing all various art related things, throughout high school, and took art classes in high school and through college, but I wasn't really focusing on a comic strip. Some people get their comics published in, college newspapers. I didn't do that. I wasn't, when I was in college, the internet was just, it was just starting. And so it was kind of the beginning of it. So that makes me feel real old, but.
Oh, don't worry. I got you topped. Go ahead.
But so I wasn't, after I graduated, I had this goal of becoming a syndicated cartoonist. That was my goal. And I want to do what,
Charles
Jim
Schultz.
Davis, and those are my heroes, and Berkeley Breathed and all these other people. I want to do that. So I spent, a good probably 15 years after college off and on submitting packages to syndicates. And so I didn't pan out. Long story short, I got kind of close with one strip. Editors liked it, but it was just it was a little too weird for syndication. So
how are you? I love that you're following your passion, but you got to pay the utility bills. So how were you doing that after you had your diploma in hand?
So I worked various jobs. I worked at a direct mail agency. I was doing a little bit of copywriting, some art production for a direct mail agency. Worked there for a few years. Then I transitioned to another nonprofit. The direct mail agency was a for-profit, but then I moved to the nonprofit world and made money doing day jobs there. And so doing work there.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is help people out, because there's people that know you think to be syndicated is great. But we live in the time of the internet and everything's changing. So you're able to get your cartoons out there on social media platforms. And I'm hoping that's a good thing, because your big homework after the show is to go to your website. Tell everybody metzgercartoons.com. Is that correct?
Metzgercartoons.com.
Yeah.
And my Facebook handle is @ScottMetzgerCartoons, and same with Instagram @ScottMetzgerCartoons. And on Threads too. People are on Threads. Oh, yeah. Are you on Threads?
No, not yet. I have some clothing that need more threads, but no. Yeah. So I mean, seriously, tell people about that. You're not syndicated, but people know you in the pet world. And I have a lot of friends that love your cartoons, and I see them sometimes popping up on a PowerPoint display or something. And the one thing as a writer and an author to you as a cartoonist, it's very nice and very important that they have your name on that cartoon when they show it.
Yes, that's huge. And yeah, and that's actually part of what I do is with my cartoons, I license them for presentations and newsletters and social media things. I work with a bunch of social media pages that pay a certain fee to post my work if they're a business page.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I started posting my stuff on Facebook. I started the Facebook page like in 2014 and Instagram 2015. So it's just consistency and just putting up content regularly. And I was lucky enough to get early on a couple cat pages that were pretty popular that had like hundreds of thousands of followers were sharing my stuff. And that's how it helped build my page. So
well, I think if my notes are right, you have something like over 273,000 followers on Facebook alone. And they're not all your relatives, right, Scott?
Yeah. Oh, 200,000 are.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been fortunate that, it's connected with some people. It's like, actually for a long time, I was drawing cartoons about all kinds of topics and I wasn't drawing that many cat or dog cartoons. And then one day I started to kind of focus on that. And actually a friend of mine said, you should really focus on cat cartoons, like probably 2013 or something, 2014. And I said, I don't know, I'm not sure. I like them, but I'm not sure they're going to connect. And I didn't realize like how many people online are like huge cat people. And so it's nice that I have that thing where I can draw what I really enjoy. And it also, there's an audience for that.
So kind of keeping me with my sense of humor have always been your cartoons. And one of my picks is I got people, if you bank at Chase Bank, you will never go into the lobby the same way again after seeing a Scott Metzger cartoon. And just to tee up, and I'll let you give the message. The teller is actually a squirrel, right? And there's a dog as a customer.
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
So the squirrel as the teller and the dog is a golden retriever type of dog, and he's all excited.
Squirrel.
Yeah. So behind the squirrel is the Chase logo signage, and the squirrel saying to the dog, "Sir, it's just a sign. It's not a suggestion."
I mean, how did you get that? I mean, were you one day just in a bank line or what?
Yeah, pretty much. We bank at Chase, my wife and I. So like I was at Chase. I was like, just kind of, it just hit me. That's the thing with ideas that can just come at any time. You're just, sometimes when you're sitting down to come up with ideas with a pad of paper, sometimes it's hard, but when you're out and about in the world, an idea just can come out of nowhere like that, when you're driving.
And my other corporate favorite for cats, for all of us that walk into a Walmart, we know the drill. There's usually a senior greeting us as soon as we get our one toe into the door. But in your cartoon, Scott, there's a cat with the Walmart blue jacket.
Right.
All right, what's happening? Because it's catitude time.
So yeah. So the customer is a man. He's looking down at the cat and he's saying, "Can you show me where the cat toys are?" And the cat's just sitting there, and on the back of his, because he's shows his back, and on the back of his vest it says, "How may I ignore you?" Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's going on.
An old cat of mine who's no longer with us, but
Who was that tribute to?
that was to my cat Hannah, who was a sweetheart. She loved my wife and daughter, and could take or leave me or my son. So it was kind of like that. Yeah, I got a little bit inspiration.
All right. Now you have a knack for knowing that cats like boxes.
Yes.
And can you share a couple? Because we get the deliveries and it's a cat tree I'm going to be putting together for the cat, or it's cat toys. And I look over and Casey and Rusty, my two orange tabbies, are like, we're in the box.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah. Oh gosh, both my cats love boxes, and Piper's hilarious because she'll get in any even a tiny little box she'll sit in. You know?
What is it that they do that if they can fit, they sit? Is that kind of the thing?
The funny thing is I saw this meme that was floating around and said, we all make fun of cats or poke fun at cats for loving boxes so much. But if there was a huge box in your living room that you could fit in, you probably sit in it too. Oops, I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, no, I don't know. Every cat I've had loves sitting in boxes. And I know there's people that have cats that don't particularly like that. So, but I think for me, that's not been the case. They've always liked that. So.
Well, I know that you have these cartoons and you do licensing, but you have some books too. And even the titles will make everyone go out and want to buy them. And so I want to make sure I've got it because I had them right here. The latest one that came out, you have Squirrel, Bacon, Ball, and Other Distractions. What a great title for a book. Tell us about that.
Thanks. That's my collection of dog cartoons that came out in 2022, fall of 2022. So yeah, that was.
How do people get their paws on it, Scott?
Amazon. So it's on, and you search up for it on Amazon, it comes right up. And then, or you can go to metzgercartoons.com and click on, there's a homepage that has, if you click on the icon on my homepage, it goes takes you all 3 of my books.
And then for the cat lovers, 50 ways to wake your human.
Right.
Give me a couple examples that you've personally experienced.
That was like Miles, that was pretty much a tribute to my cat, Max, the whole book. In fact, my cat, Max wrote the foreword for that book and my other one, but he loves, he just gets me up really early in the morning. He's getting a little older now. He's not doing it as much, but he still does. And Piper's picking up the slack on that actually too, but yeah, he just.
How does Max wake you up? There's no latte waiting for you, right?
Oh no, it's not gentle. It's scratching the mattress, knocking something off the nightstand, jumping, smacking me on the nose is a go-to for him. People are, oh, my cat always gently pats me on the nose. I'm like, no, it's like it's hitting my nose like it's a snooze button. So it's like, he hasn't knocked off. My wife often has a glass of water on her nightstand.
Oh, I only use water bottles with lids now because I've learned.
That's wise. Yeah, that's really smart. Yes, he hasn't done that though, which is to his credit. But yeah, he's done all kind of meowing really loudly, batting the doorstop. That's another one of the.
Oh,
twanging all and 2 and 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Yeah. So yeah, there's several cartoons in that book about waking the human up.
Why are you such a cat daddy? What is it about cats? I say real men love cats. So you've had a lifelong love of them.
Yeah, Well, probably my first cat I had growing up was when I was 5 years old. We got a cat, so that's impressionable age. We had her till I was in high school, senior.
Wow.
We also had a dog, a golden retriever, when I was in high school, and then Dobby was the first dog I've had since I was in high school. So I love dogs too. So but yeah, cats. I just think they're kind of funny. They're both funny in their own kind of ways. Their cats are just kind of, they have this dignity to them in a way, and so they do something stupid or fall off, jump up on a shelf and fall down. It's kind of hilarious because
do you ever notice Scott, when they do it, they don't like to be embarrassed? They'll start grooming.
Yeah, it's like they're casual. I didn't. I meant for that to happen. Yeah, it's funny.
But if a dog does it, the dog will do it again to get laughed, right?
Yeah. Exactly. That's cool to get me some attention. That's great. Yeah.
Well, I know you're not a animal behaviorist, but you have studied animal behavior because you have to have cartoons that relate to your audiences. So what's your take on the 21st century cat these days? Not the one you grew up with, but now. Yeah. What's the
21st century cat? The cat that's a next generation. Well, basically, I think one thing that people need to know generally, and of course, but like a lot of people think cats are super apathetic and they don't care about their humans and they're not friendly and they love humans. A lot of cats, there are cats a little bit more aloof, but overall they're really loving creatures. Yeah. And so people who say I can't stand cats, I love dogs, I hate cats. Well, I kind of feel like, have you been around enough cats to really make that judgment? It's okay if they don't like them, but it's like they shouldn't say that they're not friendly.
Yeah. Well, Casey, my big orange tabby who teaches pet first aid with me, he's a therapy cat. He comes in to a memory care center wearing a cowboy hat in a pet stroller and shaking paws. I actually call him my BFF. I call him my best feline friend.
Oh, he was cute too. He's
a long drink of water. But I think you're right. I love it when guys say, you hear people say, "Oh, my dog loves me," and I think my cat does too.
I think so. Cat's kind of a more casual roommate. Like, let's hang out for a little bit. But yeah, it's like,
point. What about dogs? What's your take on dogs?
Dogs are hilarious because they're so like, my dog Dobby is like super, they show so much enthusiasm when you walk into a room. They're really happy to see you. Yeah, exactly. So he's also has a little bit of separation anxiety. So if I go outside for a little bit and come back, then you're going to come back. Well, how to see you? It's been 5 minutes. Seems like 20 years.
So how many cartoons do you do a week, a day? What I know the brain, the creative side is not a 9 to 5 kind of process.
Right. I try to do 2 to 3 a week, and I'm starting to do reels now, which is.
And what are reels?
Oh, they're brief little videos that you just kind of post on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Okay. And that's kind of like taking some existing cartoons, some ones I've done, or coming up with a new idea, just kind of turning into a little video just for an experimentation kind of thing.
How long are these clips? How long are they?
Oh, they're short. They're like 10 to 14 seconds. They're just really quick little punchy little jokes that are,
music or something. Yeah.
Right. And my daughter, she's almost 16. She'll be 16 and actually tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, daughter.
Yeah. She's been saying to me for a couple of years now, like, you got to do reels, Dad. You got to do reels. I'm like, yeah, I know. Reels are cool, but I don't, I'll get to that when I get to it. And then she's helped me put some together. So yeah, she's kind of.
What's her first name? Shout out, birthday girl.
Oh, I don't think she wanted me to.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday. And thanks for teaching your dad to be with the times, right? Yeah, all right.
Yeah. But
I think that's cool. So you're always evolving, and you started with a pencil, right? And now you're doing stuff on the computer to do cartoons.
Exactly. Yeah. And even though I started off with pencil and pen years ago, and would color my cartoons with felt markers, and which wasn't a great look for me. It was passable, it was fine, but I started with Illustrator in the years ago, like in the late 90s, and so. And got over the years gotten more proficient with it, and I really love it. So now my process is I actually still use a pencil to sketch ideas.
Okay, all right.
But then I scan it into the computer, and then I color with Illustrator with a Wacom tablet. So, Wacom tablets are really big.
What are they? I don't know that.
It's just like it's a tablet with a stylus with a little pen.
Oh, okay.
So they make various kind of devices that some are a tablet that you use to draw on the screen, and some are other Wacom we're getting into the weeds here, but other Wacom products are like more big tablets you draw directly on. So yeah, they're a huge company.
Have you ever had some celebrity or somebody that really left a mark with you that remarked about one of your cartoons and how they really loved it?
Yeah, actually that's happened a few times. I've done some parodies of songs, and I did a James Taylor parody. Actually, it's Carol, what's the woman's name?
Carole King or no?
Carole King, yes. That James Taylor covered. And so I did a parody of that and then tagged him. And I should have tagged Carole King, but I wasn't aware that she had done it originally, actually, which is
okay.
I feel embarrassed to say that. But anyway.
So JT liked it, huh?
Yeah, he liked it. He posted on Instagram and tagged me and said it was great. And I did a parody of Rick Astley's song, Never Gonna Give You Up, with a cat, and he posted it on Instagram and said he liked it.
So what is your parting message to people out there, how to follow a dream?
It's just a matter of just being consistent and marketing your stuff wherever you can, kind of thing. Yeah.
And I think follow the trends and have a 16-year-old daughter that says, Dad, do reels.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What is some trait about a dog and one trait about a cat that you have envy and you wish you did have?
Oh God. For a dog, they're just very happy, and they unconditionally love people, and they're loyal. Those are a few traits, but
that's not bad.
Cats they're very independent, and they
Is there something a cat does that you really wish you could do?
jump really high.
Yeah.
No,
And break your kneecaps when you land, right?
Yeah, I wish I could dunk. And I have the leaping ability of my cat Max.
Hey, everybody. I've enjoyed having on our show. He's an amazing cartoonist, and I'm just very happy that I got to have, you're my second cartoonist. I had Jim Davis of Garfield on years ago, and the only way I snagged him is we both were from Indiana.
Oh, cool. He seems like a great guy. Everything I've heard about that guy, he seems like a really nice.
He's a very good guy. He's a very good guy, but so are you, Scott.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.